Hey guys, welcome to another Life with Myst video. I'm not at the computer right now. I can't look up the last time I did like a exercise, exercise fitness kind of update. But I feel like it's been a while, and and I think it definitely was before I started this new job that isn't so new anymore. I've been there, like, I guess it's still classified as new because it's still like under a year, but it's been 4 months now, and fun fact about the job is I was very happy to get it because it was a more physical job rather than, sitting and stuff. And it was going to help me lose weight, right? But what has happened is, well, one, um, the biggest thing is I'm so tired when I get back from that job that I don't do the workout, right? The job has allowed me to naturally do the steps where I was like working my ass off to get 10K steps every day. As my stream crowd knows, stream started becoming very late for quite a while, about 5 months ago. Streams were starting at almost midnight because I was making sure I got my steps done and my exercise, and because I wasn't back working a physical job yet. Everything, like, nothing was natural. I had to force every little thing, and yeah, so now the steps are a little more natural. I average 10K to 15K every day. So yay. That's a huge amount that I don't have to make time for, because it's being done within my work shift. That's the tough part about like having like an at-home job, is that you are working and you're sitting. So then after work, you still have to find another way to do the steps, right? Or even if you have a job that's light, light physical. And yeah. So, first things first, I know we're a few minutes into this video already, but first things first, I do not have a trainer. I just thought that would be a funny picture to make, right? So no, I did not go hire a fitness trainer. I never will. They will never be worth it to me. Don't get me wrong. If you're a fitness trainer out there, I get it. You help many people do what they need to do, but those people are generally lazy. And I'm already eating healthy, doing my workouts, and like I'm already doing the stuff. I don't need someone to motivate me to do it, right? I've been very capable of motivating myself. And second, cost, right? Like if I'm gonna pay that kind of money, then I need to be the lazy person that needs to be motivated on all levels, because I need my money's worth. If I'm doing majority of that shit already, then I see waste of money, honestly. So just thought I'd put that out there. I just thought it'd be a funny picture. And to explain the picture a bit, I've been a little hooked to my slurpees lately. Now that I'm back to working an outside of the house job, there is a temptation on the way home from work, and that is the Slurpee place. Yeah. And so I've been very, the first few months I didn't even go in, right? I wasn't feeling the need. And then one day, it was during a night shift, I was like, ooh, Slurpee, I haven't had one of those in years. I'm going to go get one. And I swear, it's been not every shift, but I would say I would say probably 3 times a week for the past 3 weeks. I have been going in for a Slurpee. Yeah, and the past 2 times I've been adding ice cream on top of it. So yeah, we need to stop drinking our Slurpees, which is going to be so tough for me. I'm not the person that has like that food that like food's never been my issue, but now I'm like hooked to these Slurpees, and yeah, Slurpees are like straight sugar. And yeah, it's really the only bad thing I've been having lately. Other than that, I'm still doing my protein, I'm exercising, I'm getting my steps in naturally through work, and like everything's still doing good. But and that brings us to the topic of this video. I think the Slurpees are impacting my progress. I know, what a stupid fucking thing to say, right? Of course they are, like, obviously. but yeah, so I think we gotta go on a Slurpee diet. and it's gonna suck, but maybe I just do a Slurpee once a week on my cheat day. But the thing is, and this is one thing I've discovered, I'm all for having a cheat day, and you will always hear people say, yeah, it's important to have a cheat day. It helps keep you on, keep you motivated to do things the other 6 days a week. But one thing that I have discovered is there's a cheat day and then there is a cheat day, and I think the importance of a cheat day is knowing to not cheat out too much. Like for me, the how I do my cheat days is I just won't focus protein as much, because protein's like my major thing. Because I'm over 40 and I don't eat like a whole lot of meat normally, now I do, but before it would be like a steak once in a while, a pork chop once in a while, but for the most part it was carbs every day, because of that, protein's been my major thing. Plus, for those that don't know, and you wouldn't if you're younger, but once you hit over 40, cardio it works, but it's not as effective. And protein is such a huge thing when you're older, because you lose, I can't remember what the percentage is. I think it's like 1% muscle every year that you're like over 40. Don't quote me on that one. The math might be off. I'm not looking at a page to give you absolute facts here, but I do know the thing I can confirm is that you lose muscle every year after you hit 40. I can confirm that. It's the percentage I'm not totally sure, which is why I gave you the lowest percentage possible, pretty much like 1%. So it could be higher. But yeah, so with that said, when you're older, like protein and weightlifting is pretty much your exercise plan. And so the weightlifting is what I kind of haven't felt enough energy to do. I was doing really good with it until we got this new job. And so now I feel like I've adapted into it. I feel like we're good to bring weight training back, and yeah, so I'm gonna bring weight training back. I'm still gonna do my cardio. Yeah, I know that it's not as effective, but the thing is, I never really did cardio to lose weight anyway, as weird as that sounds. Cardio I just did to stay active so that like, you know, so that my joints aren't, you know, getting sore and stuff. Cause I heard that happens when you're older. And I have been lucky enough to be a person that's, you know, creeping up on 50 here. Like I'm 47. And the issues I hear people have, 30-year-olds are talking about back problems. 40-year-olds are talking about, you know, like most of them are going to the hospital, get treatments for shit. And 30 and 40-year-olds are talking about joint issues, you know. So I feel very fortunate, you know, like I stayed fit for most of my life accidentally. I did nothing to do so. I was drinking Dr. Pepper every fucking night, gaming every night. And, you know, I had a good metabolism and I was younger. That's what it boiled down to. And then, you know, and then COVID basically happened. COVID happened and I was still doing all the same things that I always did. Like before COVID, I stayed at home all the time. You know, I barely left the house. If I got my best friend on this camera with me and asked him straight out, when's the last time you saw me leave the house before I got this new job? You guys would be amazed. Yeah, you guys would be amazed in that fucking answer. And that's why I say if I got him on the camera, because you wouldn't believe me. You wouldn't even believe me if I told you. But if I had someone backing it up, yeah. But point is that, you know, it's a lot tougher when you creep up over 40. And my motivation lately, it has been that I want to get it done before I'm so old that I hit menopause, which could have happened by now. Like it hasn't, I would know. But it can hit you as early as 40, right? So I'm hoping that maybe I don't get it to like 50. But I'm fortunate enough to be 47 and still not have it. So that's my goal. And the reason for that is because everywhere I read, every time I talk to like older women, you know, and ask them their opinion on this kind of stuff, I get the same answer from all of them, that it's like a nightmare to try to lose weight when you hit menopause, because your body is doing all these different things. And I find as a woman over 40, it's impossible to get answers online. The people doing videos are 20-year-olds. They have no idea how your body changes over the years to affect, like I said, I didn't even exercise when I was 20 and I was fit. Like things can accidentally get done when you're 20. Even when you're 30, I still had that body when I was 30. You know, it wasn't until I was 40 that I started gaining weight, you know, but I pretty much was the exact same weight for like 20 some years. And I didn't try, you know, I was just doing the things you do. I did worse things because I have been a gamer my whole life, which means I've been sitting when I haven't been working. And then for a long time there, I had a sit down job. And, you know, and then soda was never something I did like a whole lot of, but in my 20s, I didn't like soda being bad didn't even enter my mind, you know, like obviously we know soda's bad, but when you're young, you don't even think about it. You don't think about it. And when I was 20, we didn't have TikTok. We didn't have YouTube, I think, was just starting up. Like you didn't have those outdoor sources that reminded you of how bad things are, right? So you just just say whatever, and sometimes I do miss those days because, yeah, some stuff is bad and you gain weight due to it. But think back to like the 50s, there was next to no overweight people. And you know what I think it is? Honestly, I think a couple of things. One, things are going into the food nowadays that are affecting it. I do think at a certain point it is out of our control. I just don't think people should use that as an excuse, right? There are things you can do. But at a certain point, it is out of our control because food is different nowadays. And then the next thing is that fast foods are like, there's so many more fast food joints nowadays than there was back in the 50s. Also, the fast food joints that existed then would have been more healthy. They've just added more junk to fast food. It was just like, what was it, like a few weeks ago? My friend Mark, he was telling me about, don't completely quote me because it was a quick little convo. I might get some facts wrong. He watches these videos. He can correct me in the comment section. But he had talked to me about how some meat is gonna be made in the lab or something. Like he told me what kind of meat. I can't remember. Like maybe it was chicken or something. But he was talking about how like some of this shit's gonna be made in a lab, and it's like, wow, like wow. Yeah. So, food's just going to start getting worse and worse. But also, I think another big factor of why there were, less people that needed to diet and stuff back then is the snacking. I think snacking is out of control. People snack a lot, and I'm pretty good for snacking. A lot of nights I won't snack, but on nights that I do snack, sometimes it would be chips or whatever, right? Sometimes it would be bad. But right now I got Greek yogurt in the fridge though. I had realized I had gained a few pounds due to my Slurpee addiction I've had lately. And so I have decided, pretty much right away, I went to the store, not like within minutes or anything, but the next day I went to the store and I bought some protein stuff. And I'm not like strict on the chicken though. I'm more strict on the protein, but I don't like limiting myself to just chicken. I need variety. If anything is ever going to work for me, I need variety. I need to be able to eat what I want to eat, more or less. I will budge a little on like the really bad things, like chips and pizza. And I do love pizza though, but I will budge on the obviously they are bad for you foods. But when it comes to meat, I don't want to only eat chicken. So I'll buy my protein, but it is chicken, it is steak. Sometimes I get pork tenderloin. This time around, I bought some pork chops, and as far as I'm concerned, any meat is protein. And I'm not a girl that can live off of chicken. I just can't do it. Yeah, and I don't do fish. So, yeah, and I barely do seafood. I like shrimp, and that's about it. So yeah. Well, unless you count like tuna sandwiches, but I don't know if we count that. I guess. I don't know. It's out of a can, so I don't know if you count anything that's out of a can. But yeah. And yes, I forgot to turn off my TV. Feel free to sponsor this video, Roku. Honestly, I never even watch Roku. It's hooked up, but it's also like that's the screen that hooks up to my Blu-ray player. And so I just put movies on, or I'll like talk to my controller. I'll be like, Netflix. Yeah. So that's just the main screen, but we never watch anything off Roku. I did a video a while back. I'll link it, in case you're interested. But I just couldn't handle the ads. When I initially got the Roku machine, I thought it was an ad-free type thing. It's not. Absolutely not. And yeah. If you're gonna watch a Roku, watch it on your computer or something so you can have an ad blocker. Yeah. But sidetrack. But yeah, so anyway, point of all this is we're gonna get back on track. I did do a workout the other day, but today's gonna be the official starting back up. Usually I would do Sundays as a rest day. I'm gonna start making them Saturdays. I think Saturdays are a better rest day, mainly because once in a while, my friend Mark wants to like go out somewhere or, and it's generally on a Saturday. And on those days, if he wants to like go somewhere, then I don't have to worry too much. We can just do our restaurant and yeah. So yeah. Plus Sunday isn't a must stream day. It is an optional, like it's the React day. So if I need a little extra time, yeah, we're good on Sundays. I can have that little extra time. And yeah. So yeah, point is we're getting back to it. It's not like I totally fell off. I can't show you because actually, give me a sec. I'll show you. Okay, so I put it on June and July so you can see like the past decent amount of days. Okay, this is today. It's going to look a lot better later, okay? But those are the goals. So 700 calories is the pink circle. 45 minutes is the green circle. It's exercise. So the biggest thing with me is that I still want to do all the things that I like to do. I'm not going to stop gaming because I need to be standing 12 hours a day, Honestly, a lot of the time we get pretty close anyway. Like, like this is an average day right here. It says 11, and if I scroll up, 58 minutes for the exercise. What was the move? Okay, move could have been a little better, and I'm surprised it didn't hit at least 700 considering the exercise. But that might have been the day that, I think I went to Walmart that day, so the exercise was only walk. Yeah, this is a workout exercise. 137, and then 780 something, right? No, 756. I can't see it in the reflection too well because it's all upside down for me. So as you can see, there are some circles that weren't completed. Some days I didn't wear my watch as well. But let's be serious, obviously if I didn't wear my watch, I wasn't working out, so, but as you can see, it's not like I fell off complete track, a lot of that shit was actually getting done. So I just want to get back to that, and I still want to keep exercise in. A lot of people say, oh, you don't need the exercise, it's all about the food, and yes, it is all about the food, but I think exercise is still important. So yeah. And when I say that, I mean more than just weight training. I know there's a lot of people out there that just think, oh, all you need is weight train a few days a week and, eat healthy. Like, I think more is needed. Yeah. I don't think you need to, like, be exhausting yourself and exercising all the time every day. But I do think that, like, at a certain age, if you're just eating healthy and doing weight training like a few days a week, you're just maintaining. Like, I think more needs to be done if you want to lose weight, right? Which is why weight loss is such a huge, accomplishment when you do it. But anyway, I think that's probably all I got to say. I don't want to drag out this video too long. So getting back on track, gonna do workouts 6 days a week. I'm gonna skip Sundays. It'll be a cheat day, but not overly cheat day, just like I'll have chicken burgers, a little processed. I do tend to miss my processed. And yeah, and then we'll get a few days of weight training, a few days of cardio. Steps are natural now, so I don't have to worry too much about that one. But the aim is still at least 10K. I do get close to 15 and sometimes over that. Have a good one. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.